Welcome to Spotlight. I'm Terry Harrington, and my guest today is Fred Kemp. And for many of us around the community, we know him as our water guy, but in the past. But really, right now, he's the president of the Sherman Woods Association. And boy, did they put on a display for us at Christmas time. And Fred, first of all, thank you for doing that. It's a lot of fun to see.
Well, you don't thank me. You thank all the neighbors.
Yeah, how did that all come about?
That's a great question. Thank you for asking. One of our residents had family in North Carolina. His daughter lived in North Carolina, and what originally started out as an art project, which was make something that would be colorful, entertaining, tied to the holidays, but anyone could do themselves, grew into the production of the lighted balls for a neighborhood, and it works really great if you happen to have a lot of our large trees.
Which you do, yep.
Which is why we call it Sherman Woods, right?
Sure.
And he saw that, and I need to recognize Larry Nelson was the guy who said, boy, this is really a great idea. We got to bring this back home. And so he brought it home, and he said, well, I don't know. We'll see if the neighbors like it or not. So he made a few of them, like 8 or 10 of them, and he put them up. He has 2 beautiful oak trees. And he put them up just to see what the reaction would be. Well, the reaction was, we want those, and we need to know how to do that. And he said, well, you got to make your own. I said, fine. So Larry ended up holding classes.
Wow.
And he taught the neighbors how to make them. And so it went from those 10 to several hundred of them now. Wow.
Now, it's amazing driving through there, and I've already driven through a couple of times this holiday season already.
Great.
Yeah, especially in anticipation. But how do you get them up so high in the trees?
We get asked that a lot, and there's a lot of different answers. Some of them are pretty entertaining. The original, the neighborhood that started this in North Carolina, had the same challenge, and they actually built potato cannons.
Okay.
which are hilarious, only slightly dangerous. And they're made out of sewer pipe, and then if you peel the potato to exactly the right size and you tie a string to it, and you load it in the cannon, and then you give it a shot of CO2, and it launches the potato up in the tree. We've gotten a lot more sophisticated than that now. But I've gone through from throwing the baseball with the string tied to it to trying to cast a sinker with a regular fishing pole up into the tree, which I'm terrible at. And right now we have 2 different methods that are very popular. One is an extremely long, lightweight pole. So it'll reach 25 feet unless you get on a ladder.
Yeah, there you go.
I have a couple that are over 30 feet. And then we have what's called a line launcher, which is basically a commercial slingshot. That will reach 80 feet with no problem at all.
It's one thing getting them up there, but how do you get them down in the fall?
Well, that's part of the planning, but if you do it right and you put the line up over the branch and you get a clear path down, then you tie the ball and the extension cords on and you hoist it back up. So then you have the extension cord, if you do it right, you have the extension cord to pull it back down while someone else pays out the line slowly, so you don't have to build a new lighted ball after you're done.
One of Port Huron's engineering marvels, right?
That's right.
Great.
That's right.
Well, we need to take a break. You've got a lot of special things planned this year.
Yes.
For people to drive through Sherman Woods and enjoy the festivities. So we'll learn about that. So don't go away. We'll be right back.
The St. Clair County Department of Veterans Affairs is here to serve those who have served, military veterans and their dependents. Call and make an appointment to discuss and apply for benefits to include health care, disability compensation, and community services today at 810-989-6945.
Welcome back to Spotlight. We're talking with Fred Kemp from the Sherman Woods Association. And if you do any driving around to look at Christmas lights, that's probably one of the biggest traffic areas of the holiday season, just because of what you do, putting those balls and those ornaments up in your oak trees throughout there. What other things do you have planned this year during this holiday season, in addition to all the color lights and that kind of festivity?
One of the early things that actually the Nelson family also brought to us was, we can really do something good with this when we saw what kind of traffic it generated, and we didn't expect that. So we looked at different options. We really don't have any control over how the traffic comes in and out because there's so many different ways to enter our neighborhood. But what we did do was we decided if we're going to have all this traffic, let's see if we can do some good by sponsoring something along the lines that would help people at the holiday season. We chose the Salvation Army Red Kettle Drive. That's unique. Red kettles aren't normally in a residential area. They aren't normally at someone's house. And I was a little nervous about how much work it would take to get the people to man the kettle so we'd have enough hours in to make it worthwhile. It's been phenomenal success. We've been doing that. This is our 6th year doing that. We've raised over $27,000 for the Christmas campaign. All I have to do is send out an email, and all the shifts are filled within about 48 hours. I don't have to make any phone calls. Everybody wants to be out there. And sometimes that's really entertaining. Sometimes it's someone in a red apron ringing a bell. Sometimes it's Santa Claus. Sometimes it's a reindeer. Sometimes it's a snowman. But the response has been fantastic, and we're so pleased that we can help the Salvation Army.
What a great way, too, to bring your neighborhood together.
Absolutely. That's a big part of it, and that's what Sherman Woods is all about.
Great. Now, also this year, you're adding another event or another piece to it. Tell us about that.
Well, we also found out that the people who organize, and Sherman Woods did not organize this, people that organized the horse-drawn carriage rides, everybody who was on the carriage rides was asking that Sherman Woods be a destination so they could see the lights. Mm-hmm. So now they're setting up close to us, and they're running 2 of them this year. Mm. So there's almost a steady repetition of people going through the neighborhood in a horse-drawn carriage, really beautiful carriages too, with lights on them, and enjoying the lights. We also have found that there are literally hundreds of people who just park nearby and walk, and they get so much more than you do just driving through quickly.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
But we're very pleased with the response we're getting for the Red Kettle.
Sounds like a date night coming up. So, okay, tell us again where Sherman Woods is located so people can enjoy this.
Oh, thank you. Probably everybody around here knows where Lakeside Park is, and we're 1 long block south of Lakeside Park, and we're 1 block south of Holland Avenue and east of Gratiot. So actually, you can enter Sherman Woods at Gratiot and Edison or at Gratiot and LaSalle.
Great. And how long will the Christmas decorations be up?
Oh, well, the decorations will be up until at least the end of the first week of January. The Red Kettle Drive will end on Christmas Eve.
Great. Now all we need is a little bit of snow to add to the atmosphere, right?
That's perfect. A lot of people come back and do it again if it snows.
Great. Well, Fred, we want to thank you and your neighbors and your association for what you do for the community.
Oh, well, thank you very much. It's really a neighborhood effort. We're pleased we can do it.
And we wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year as well.
Thank you.
And we want to thank you for joining us on Spotlight.